Hey people, Inquisitor 3v3 Faction War. This is Meridian High City and Imperial Guard versus Chaos Space Marines. For the Blue Guard team, we have Volhrim with a Lord General fights in ranged combat begins with a retinue of Stormtroopers. Really strong defense and support can also add to this retinue. We have the Death Core of Krieg DLC, which means crackling rebreather sounds the entire game, sorry about that. Alongside wikkyd is a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support fights in melee combat begins with a refractor field, and we have more Death Core of Krieg. Rounding off the team here is Acey with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons. We have the Armageddon Steel Legion Elite scheme recolored to kind of look like the Death Core of Krieg a bit. Red team, TyranidTerror with a distinct lack of Tyranid units, playing a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control, the Night Lord's elite scheme. Sorry about the camera kind of jerking around a bit. Some maps it will do that. Alongside two Plague Champions. First up is Omega, and we have Lomors. These guys fight in ranged combat by default with a damage over time bolt gun, can get melee weapons with some strong utility and support. We have the Death Guard elite scheme for Lomors. Heretics getting stuck in. CSM meanwhile tearing through some guardsmen. Each player with a sentinel up. There's the stomp. So they're probably going to get stomped. Yes, no. Maybe it was waiting for the heretics, but those guys are worshipping. I think, yeah, they killed a Chaos Space Marine there. Well done, fellas. Meanwhile, in the mid, it's a 1v1 fight. Lord Commissar versus Plague Champion. Lord Commissar getting straight in there with his shield up. Imperial Guard can be so strong in these first engagements, and the Lord Commissar really helps with that. But kind of just run him in there with wild abandon with his shield up most of the time. There's a lot of work for you early on, especially when he gets his power sword, which he often does against CSM and Space Marines for the extra damage against heavy armor. Another sentinel appears, and you're going to have to flee. Yeah, TyranidTerror is already off the field. Lomors got pretty low. Oh, look at this though. Imperial Guard did not cap this power. But I do have the contested noded up, and they have this one, although it's not noded yet. In the mid, they are sweeping up as well. Might even get a decap with the sentinel on this VP. Those guys can decap points, but they can't cap them. They didn't figure that part out. 499 to 500, 2-to-1 cap for Imperial Guard early on. We have a turret going up here to annoy things when they try to take this point back. Noise Marines on the way for TyranidTerror, and Noise Marines already up here for Omega. These guys with a Sonic Blaster to deal AoE damage and disable ranged weaponry, also pretty effective against most structures such as generators and these tier 1 turrets. 499 to 472 now, double cap for the guard. They just decap this and they are going for that power. Eventually, they'll get there. Sorcerer got any war gear? Nope. Big fan of fetid armor for the Plague Champion to suppress the Lord Commissar so he can't run around in the back lines and smack stuff. He does have the power sword. Nurgle worship a little bit close for my liking, I think. There's a stomp again. And the Lord Commissar's in there. Kills a Chaos Space Marine immediately. And they don't really have an answer to him right now. Trying to focus him down with his shield up and no way to stop his movement is a little bit inefficient maybe. These CSM are in big trouble, you know. They are meleeing the Sentinel, which is interesting. They're going to die. I think Omega completely forgot about them. Was probably paying attention to the Noise Marines there. Are they going to get away? There's some Nurgle worship, but it's not enough. They do go down. Lord General also goes down. Lord Commissar has lost the shield, well, most of it, puts it back up there. The shield means that he loses energy instead of health, by the way, while it's up, for those who don't know. So as he levels up, his shield gets better since he gets more energy. Eventually, Chaos Space Marines here breaking out. Well, with some heavy losses. Looks like Volhrim lost the Sentinel in that fight too. I didn't even notice. Did not even notice. wikkyd still has theirs. Oh, and they got the Lord Commissar. Levels up the Plague Champion of Lomors. Chaos Sorcerer is down. Trying to put pressure on the VP there. And they're trying to take back that northern edge PowerPoint. A decent amount of requisition for wikkyd. They might want to purchase some generators here. There we go. There they go. It was actually Volhrim that got them. And, oh, I thought they had a generator down here, but it was just the turret. Being flanked, though. These guys will make short work of it. Double CSM with Eternal War can really pump out some piercing damage in Tier 1 and tear through guardsmen quite quickly. You have some catechins now for Acey and catechins on the way for wikkyd. And the Lord Commissar can support them to do heinous things with his Inspire Courage and Inspire Determination buffs. Noise Marines are all reinforced. Yep, so the Plague Champions can be quite strong on this map. It turns into a big meat grinder in the mid more often than not. And he has the Plague Fist and his shrines and his Nurgle worship and stuff. Can be super helpful. Do we see any war gear? We do see a Mucus Discharge for Lomors. Tier 2 now for Lomors. Looks like they lost some heretics along the way. Did I see that? I don't think I did. Trying to defend the VP is Acey here against 2 players. Good usage of the catechins. That's a really good, all reliable grenade launcher hit there. And here's some support now for wikkyd. From wikkyd, rather. Sorcerer is going to get revived, I think, unless they can stop it with some disruption. And they can. A clutch disruption and interruption of that revive there. This is a bad fight for the Chaos team all of a sudden. Really bad fight. TyranidTerror dropping heretics. And we see the Holy Brazier for the Inquisitor gives her a power melee weapon and the Holy Pyre ability, kind of a area denial type thing. And Liber Heresius to cast more stuff more often. Seek out more heresy. We've got a whole bunch of dead guardsmen here. Seems standard fare. These guys going for a power bash? I think they are. I think they are. The power on this map, pretty hard to hit most of the time, this natural power. Which is why noding up the north and the south can make a big difference. Because your natural power is typically safe. Although here, we are seeing it bashed. Can Volhrim get over here and defend it? It's got some Flamer Guardsmen. Eternal War for both of these guys now. Did they already have it? I think they already had the Eternal War. Yeah, they just got their Aspiring Champion. That's what that effect was. Big old flank here from wikkyd and Acey. They got one of the gens. That was decent, I think, but they don't want to. I don't think they want to stick around. Breath of Nurgle heal going in. There's a Noxious Cloud. Look at the damage it's doing. CSM maybe sticking around a little bit too long here. Heretics getting messed up. Noxious Cloud still going. There's the Holy Pyre. Reducing the damage of the units and does damage over time too. They got the Sentinel, you know. Lomors drops their heretics. Can the CSM get away? Maybe. Looks like they are. I think that was worth it. They got one generator, got a Sentinel, and I'm sure they killed some guardsmen here and there. Yes, they lost an upgraded heretic squad and also lost some CSM models, but I think maybe worth. Although it would have been nice if one of their allies could have got the VP during that time. Hard to say if that was worth it. Grenade launchers up here for the Lord General. You have a Chimera for Acey. wikkyd goes tier 2, the last player to go. Oh, Power Bash. Remember how I said this power is really hard to hit? And then they start hitting it over and over again? Yeah. That's why I come to my cast for my cutting edge knowledge. Looks like the CSM getting a decap. What is this? Is that a Dark Flames? Weird effect there. It's like it was placed on top of the objects. It was floating. Did well. Did well, you know. Killed some stuff. Bashed some power. Got the cap on the VP. Now they are going to take the power. Did some good work on that side. Chimera hits the field right now. Yeah, the double CSM are really tearing through the guardsmen. No sign of like heavy weapon squads and stuff to stop this. Such shenanigans. Heretics up here for Lomors. Oh, heavy turret. Dropped in. Doesn't seem like it can quite hit stuff though. It's hitting terrain here. Perhaps not the best placement for it, but it'll be good for the mid. Could have damaged from that Sonic Blaster. That is really nasty. Almost took out the catechins. Uh-oh. Lord Commissar might get the last hit on the CSM. Yep, and gets a sync kill. Might die afterwards, but it's worth it to get a squad wipe, I think. Really topsy-turvy game here. Here's the Chimera for Acey. Support vehicle for the guard, allows it to reinforce and transport infantry around, which is handy. Sentinel now with their missile launcher. And they are going to get a revive. Inquisitor with her same war gear. Nothing new yet. 425 to 311. So some good pressure from the Chaos Space Marine team. But they did lose stuff. They did lose stuff. They're still pressuring this side. And the Lord General is down. Getting a Chimera of their own. TyranidTerror with a Chaos Dreadnought on the way. I think a heavy weapon squad would have been a better pick here, and then you could see maybe Raptors or Bloodletters and try to counter that with Ogryns supported and stuff. Oh, Noxious Cloud wipes out the Catechins alongside that Bolter Fire. Doing some good work here, Lomors. Finishes off the gen. I think you should run away now, fellas. Yeah, those guys ran off. There's a Basilisk Flare there from the Lord Commissar, reducing those guys' weapon range. Which is why they had to get close to shoot that generator. 425 to 271. So we've seen like 3 power bashes on the map that I said rarely sees a power bash. And it's insight like that that keeps people coming back. We have a Chaos Dreadnought on the field with that autocannon and the close combat claw. No sign of the Inferno pistol. No sign of any... Oh, you do have some Ogryns. There's your anti-vehicle right there. Just smash stuff to bits. Also have the Sentinel missile launcher, I guess. That was a Blastmaster you just saw from the Noise Marines. Turns it into an artillery piece, which could prove very useful on this map. Just saw the Robes of Torment doing their thing, the Chains of Torment there. Lots of Torment. They're all about the Torment, the Chaos Space Marines. Creeping forward, the Noise Marines here. Don't really... Yeah, don't send your Dreadnought that far forward, guys. Think of the Dreadnoughts. There's a creeping barrage. See the Noise Marines here? Largely ineffective against this turret. The heavy turret, as the name may suggest, has vehicle armor, so you need anti-vehicle weapons to take it down effectively and efficiently. Certainly a Sonic Blaster's not going to do anything. Armor of Pestilence on the way for the Plague Champion of Lomors. Nothing yet for Omega. We also see the Rod of Warpfire. Meanwhile, more pressure on this VP from TyranidTerror. Still no Tyranids. What's going on? Level 3 Sentinel here. Are they going to take the Dreadnought down, you know? Yes, they are. Way too aggressive with it. And Sorcerer wasn't in a good place to teleport it out of trouble. Very brave guardsman taking the natural VP of the Chaos Space Marines. So look at this. I wasn't even paying attention to the tech game. And the 2 Plague Champions have Predators up already. Mark of Nurgle for Omega. And it's going to be Mark of Zinch for Lomors. Let's see what this turret can do though. If it can hit those tanks, it's going to do so much damage. Doesn't quite have the range. It does have very good range though. We do have some anti-armor stormtroopers. All sneaky like with melter bombs and melter guns. All the melters. What was that? That shot completely missed? Weird. I heard the sound and everything. There we go. There's that Nurgle autocannon with the damage over time. Does lose effectiveness against large targets, but you get the pretty decent anti-infantry round there and lots of durability. The Guard taking the northern power, but the Imperial Guard losing the southern power. Look at this. Lord General's got all of his friends. Well, almost all of them. Here comes the Vox operator now. There's the shield from the Commissar retinue guy. And they're going to get the decap, I think. I believe this shield gives 55% range damage reduction. And they get the decap with it. And now run away. That was decent. 421 to 180. Chaos team are very low on VPs here. Turret going up from Lomors. But it's shut down immediately by the Basilisk Flare there. Look at the range of it now. Ogryns trying to get in there. Oh, but there's the Chains of Torment. And we see another noxious cloud. Plasma gun starting to appear for the guardsmen now. For the extra damage against heavy infantry. Ogryns were dealt with, as were those guardsmen. But they have a Commissar, they could break that retreat and then reinforce off the Chimera. Doesn't look like they are though. Can the Chaos team stabilise the mid? Start racking up some VPs. Don't see any shrines. The turret was taken down. Or maybe not. Oh, it was completed, wasn't it? Yeah. So it was taken down. The Inquisitor's down too. Plague Marines on the way for TyranidTerror. And tier 3 for Acey. Are we going to see the big gun line of Lehman Russes? Look at the damage to the tank from the heavy turret here. Big damage. And that's a Nurgle Predator with worship support. Down goes the Mark of Zinch Predator. Sneaky anti-armor stormtroopers getting in. Well played, Volhrim. Are they going to get away though? Being chased by these heretics. Oh, they got him. They did get him. So there was reprisals. Lomors down to 2 units though. Plague Champion is kitted out with a Plague Fist, which is a great capping tool. So we need to see, well, in the eyes of the Chaos Space Marines, we need to see TyranidTerror putting a little bit of pressure on the VP. You need to try and split them off. You don't want Imperial Guard massing up on a single VP. There's those grenade launchers doing some work against those Chaos Space Marines. Are they going to get into melee? They are. The Lord Commissar is a decent melee combatant. The Commissar retinue fella is decent in melee. The others, not so much. But they are persuaded to leave. Plague Champion, meanwhile, grabbing back the VP 420 to 151. Volhrim's done a good job putting pressure on this. There's the Pestilence Strike, which should mean that this is capped. And look at this, they're on the power. Is that the 5th power bash we've seen? Oh, Lomors down to a single unit, and we have Chaos Terminators up. What's going on in mid? Anti-armor stormtroopers getting a decap under infiltration there. 414 to 151. Chaos Sorcerer. Where's he up to? I'm not sure. Maybe Demon Armor would be good for the Demonic Shield. Can they take out the Sentinel? There's a Dark Flames. That's going to be quite nasty. From the global bar of the Sorcerer. I don't think there's space for all of them to get into the into the Chimera there. And they did get the Sentinel, right? Pretty sure they got the Sentinel. I don't see the Sentinel. Yeah, the Sentinel's gone. I know, it's right on my screen, I know, but I was looking at the Chimera, damn it. These guys can break their retreats. It's not on cooldown, that is. Doesn't look like they're going to, though. They're going after that heavy turret, which has been a big pain in the arse. The Terminators here should be meleeing it. Oh, down it goes anyway. And can they finish off the Stormtroopers? One more burst might do it. Not quite. These guys with the autocannon 413 to 151. Looks like the Lord General went down trying to grab the VP there. There he is. Lost all 5 of his buddies. And the Inquisitor's still down over here. Chaos Space Marines are in this game. Lomors with another Predator tank. No mark yet. Some Kashyyykin on the way for Volhrim, perhaps, with their grenade launcher to disrupt the hell out of stuff. And a Bane Blade for Acey. Warp Fire misses from the Sorcerer there. Can be hard to see that effect. Fire off. This tank's a bit far forward. We've got a Nurgle Shrine. If you worship it, it allows you to reinforce off it and will heal faster. You get that 7% heal and also suppresses enemy infantry if they get close. That will help guard against the Ogryns rushing in. Great unclean one on the way for TyranidTerror. Kashyyykin hit the field and the Baneblade is almost here. Will we get that epic meat grinder? 371 to 151. I think TyranidTerror wants to play it safe here. Because they've only got 2 units. They can't really go after the VP super effectively. Maybe with the Vestments of the Warp they could just teleport in and get a decap maybe. But I don't want to commit to it and then be fully forced off and then leave the mid undefended. We have a relay beacon from the Chimera. So they can retreat back to that now. Gives them some great field presence. Lord Commissar has got the flak jacket for Inspired Terror. And stubbornness for the heals. Look at all the heals. Tank hasn't leveled up yet. It's another Mark of Nurgle tank for Lomors. I believe this is set to get nerfed in 295. Slightly. I think less health regen maybe. Oh, there's some touch of Nurgle on the Chaos Space Marines. Global ability of the Plague Champion. It does that. Makes you explode on death incredibly violently. Although healing nearby allies. Yeah, don't want to stay in too long, guys. Doesn't make you invulnerable. There is an internal cooldown on that. I think it's 5 seconds between explosions. Used to be no cooldown in the early days on touch of Nurgle. Those were fun times. There's a big old rocket run. Pretty well done. Didn't quite finish off the Noise Marines. Messed up the shrine, but it's still there. Noise Marines. Oh, they got away, you know. They did get away. This tank has had enough. He's sitting out for now. And there's your great unclean one. Baneblade doing its thing. Demolisher Cannon did not knock over the Plague Champion because of Armor of Pestilence. Baneblade did drop a lot of health there. The Guard just can't get onto this VP right now. Anti-armor Stormtroopers in the background going after that tank. But the Plague Champion's there to mess them up. Ogrins, I guess they were going after the other tank there maybe. Mark of Nurgle Predators do get melee resistance. Great Unclean One going after the Baneblade, which does not get melee resistance. Plague Marines also getting shots in, but we need to try and move them between shots manually. And Terminator's teleporting up to continue getting shots in. Can they get the Baneblade here? Leman Russ trying to help out, but down it goes. There's not enough support in the field there for it. You need to be so careful with your Baneblades. I mean, pushing it up even to the VP is really risky. It's so slow, as you can see there. So vulnerable to heavy melee. Any more Chaos Terminators? Nope. TyranidTerror does have some heretics up to worship the big fella. And is a demon. Enjoys a good worship. They are getting on the VP here. And what is that? That's Lomors getting the natural VP back. They might get a triple cap here. Another Noxious Cloud. They've used them quite well. That one might be able to get into base and do some work. It's quite slow though. 305 to 151. Double cap for the Chaos team. Soon to be a triple, I think. Can they get on the mid in time? Imperial Guard? Don't think so. Kashyyykin on the way for wikkyd. What did we see on these guys? No weapon upgrade yet for those guys. They do have the faster capping trait once they get their sergeant, so maybe they could grab some decaps on the VP. There's some sneaky decaps. Looks like they got one already, maybe, when Lomors had to retake it. It's a good grenade. Well played, Volhrim. We do see some Havocs up for Lomors, and I think that's a good choice at this stage. Get a bunch of Havocs up. Oh, those guys super died. Those were heretics. What is this? More power harass from the Chaos Space Marines. Great Unclean One's having a grand old time. Needs to be careful though, because the Sorcerer's right here, so can't teleport him out of trouble effectively, since he's also in trouble. There's Purgatus in the background from the Inquisitor. And the Blastmaster Noise Marines got messed up and went down. Plasma is pretty good against a Great Unclean One because it's super heavy infantry. But you know what? So's Leman Russ. Oh, good special there from the Great Unclean One. Triple cap for Chaos. Down to around half health. Yeah, the Sorcerer needs to get away from him so he can teleport him away. These guys are not shooting properly here. 173 to 151. Where's the warp? I don't see it. I don't see the warp. Down it goes. Maybe he didn't have enough reg, you know. Grand Q1 goes down. That was a sloppy loss from TyranidTerror. Just kept on pushing it. Oh, they've got some Chaos Terminators and they're also going to go down. TyranidTerror now down to a single unit. That could be the swing that the Imperial Guard need, but there is a las cannon turret in the mid. That's a big threat to the Leman Russes and stuff. That thing does so much damage. Not a heavy bolter though. They don't care about heavy bolters. 124 to 151. Is that a shrine over there? That is a shrine. Got no health. How is it still standing? It's literally got 0 health. Some Nurgle shenanigans going on. It doesn't seem to be working. It doesn't seem to be healing these guys. Very strange. Very, very strange. 90 to 151. Never seen that bug before. Just an eternal shrine that does nothing. I wonder if it's taking population off him still. Great Unclean One on the way now for Omega. And TyranidTerror recovering with Plague Marines. Here goes another shrine from Omega this time. Ogrins with the decap. Basilisk cleared to shut down the range. Leman Russ lending a hand, but is going to be pressured by the Plague Marines. Lord General getting too close to a bunch of stinky Nurgle tanks. A decap here. Well, a decap attempted by the Kasrkin. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it. They're giving it a good go. You know what? They are. Well done, fellas. Okay, our Space Marines unable to get them out of there. Oh, was there a rocket run in the mid that I missed? Maybe. Or a creeping barrage or something. So much stuff going on. Wish I could zoom out more. Manticore on the way for wikkyd. Great Unclean One of Omega is going to hit the field in time to have an impact here. 64 to 137. Double cap now for Imperial Guard. Well played, Volhrim. Level 3 Kasrkin doing some work there. Leman Russ under repairs. Getting very easily take out a Chaos Predator with the Vanquisher Cannon. Almost finish it off. Down it goes. The other Leman Russ got it. So the Imperial Guard have this unique mechanic with their vehicles that when the first unit repairs a vehicle, it repairs it for more. Subsequent units still repair at the normal rate, but it helps them support their vehicles a lot, as you may expect. Going to take out both the other Chaos Predator. There we go. 64 to 89. Chaos Space Marines starting to capitulate here under the pressure of the tank line. Look at this. 4 Leman Russes. 3 of them with Vanquisher Cannons, I think. Yep, and a Manticore. There's a Dark Flames and an Noxious Cloud. That's a nasty combo. Those guys made it out. What's going on over here? Down goes the Lord General. Oh, hey, look at this. The Commissar survived somehow. Is he going to fight? Oh, I went down. Didn't seem to be shooting or anything. Okay, Space Marines are level 4 and are going to make it out. You know what, that shrine there, it might have been that they tried to build it, but then immediately ordered their unit away, so like went up with 0, but was never actually built. 64 to 54 is very, very close. Great Unclean One mixing up in the back lines. So you can warp out an allied unit. So TyranidTerror needs to keep an eye on that. Look at this. Executioner Leman Russ kicking some ass. Cap with the Sork quickly or something. Shrine is going to be taken out here. Sorcerer is trying to take the mid. There's a double though. Great Unclean One is in the back lines. Need to turn around, I think. Yeah, it's going to try to, but it's got some plasma guns to deal with. I think it's going to go down. Double cap for the Imperial Guard. And I think they've got it. Great Unclean One is going to fall here. There he goes. They took the mid. Oh, there's the 1-to-1. 2 VPs remaining. Touch of Nurgle on these heretics. They are getting blasted though. And the Kasrkin are right back on the VP. And look at the Chaos Space Marine armies. They are very depleted here. The Nurgle tanks just couldn't hold once the Leman Russes started to flood in. No way they can compete with that. We did see a Marcos each one too. Yeah, a little bit sloppy from TyranidTerror. Losing things here and there. A little bit too aggressive with them. But they did put the Guard under huge amounts of pressure. Got some good power bashes and stuff. And once the Baneblade fell, I thought the Chaos team had it. But hey, the Imperial Guard came back strong. Volhrim did a great job on this VP. And they used their Leman Russ as well. And there you have it. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part. If they didn't, I couldn't cast nothing and you couldn't see nothing. And big thanks to Impregnable as well for organising such things, and I'll see you in the next one.